Hi guys, it's F1 fan number 1 here, and welcome to your FP3 and qualifying roundup of the 2026 Australian Grand Prix. Sorry it's coming out a bit late, I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot to record this. Anyway, in 22nd, who didn't set a time, was Lance Stroll in the Aston. In 21st was Carlos Sainz in the Williams, who completed one lap and didn't set a time. In 20th was Cadillac Sergio Perez, 21 laps completed for him, 5.5 seconds off the pace. In 19th was Bottas, 4.5 seconds off the pace, 12 laps completed. In 18th was Fernando Alonso, 3.5 seconds off the pace, 20 laps completed. 17th was Alex Albon, 2.5 seconds off the pace, 17 laps. 16th, Frank Colapinto, 2.5 seconds off the pace, 22 laps completed. 15th, Pierre Gasly, 2 seconds off the pace, 26 laps completed. 14th, Nico Hülkenberg, 2 seconds off the pace, 23 laps completed. Esteban Ocon, 13th, 2 seconds off the pace, 19 laps completed. In 12th, Liam Lawson, the Racing Bulls, 2 seconds off the pace, 13 laps completed. Same for Arvid Lindblad in 11th in the other Racing Bulls, except he completed 15 laps. Oliver Byrne was in 10th, who with completing 18 laps, still 2 tenths off the pace. 9th, Gabriel Bortoleto, 1.5 seconds off the pace, 19 laps completed. In 8th was Lando Norris, 1.5 seconds off the pace, 22 laps completed. In 7th was Kimi Antonelli, he was only a second off the pace, 18 laps completed. 7th, Max Verstappen in 6th, except he completed 15 laps. Isaac Cadrell was also a second off the pace in 5th, 15 laps completed. In 4th was Oscar Piastri in the McLaren, he was a second off the pace, completing 17 laps. In 3rd was Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, a second off the pace, completing 20 laps. In 2nd was the Brit and 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton in the other Ferrari, half second off the pace, completing 22 laps. And topping FP3 was George Russell in the Mercedes, a 1:19.053, completing 23 laps. And then in qualifying, in Q1, we saw Stroll not set a time, so he went out in 22nd. Then in 21st, it was Carlos Sainz, who didn't set a time. In 20th was Max Verstappen, who crashed out, so didn't set a time. In 19th was Valtteri Bottas in the Cadillac with a 1:23.244. 18th was the other Cadillac, Sergio Perez, 1:22.605. And in 17th was Fernando Alonso with a 1:21.969. 17th Alonso, 18th Perez, 19th Bottas, 20th Verstappen, 21st Sainz, and 22nd Stroll. Your back 6 for tonight's Grand Prix. And then in 16th was Franco Colapinto in FP2. Q2 with 1:21.270, 15th Albon with a 1:29.41, 14th Gasly with a 1:25.01, 13th Ocon with a 1:24.91, 12th Behrman 1:23.11, 11th Hülkenberg with a 1:23.03. So you're 6 out in Q2: Hülkenberg, Behrman, Ocon, Gasly, Albon, and Colapinto. And then we got into the top 10 shootout. Gabriel Bortoleto in the Audi didn't set a time. I've forgotten the reason. I think he crashed or something, like in the pit lane or something, I don't know. But he didn't set a time. In 9th was Arvid Lindblad, who set a 1:21.247. In 8th was Liam Lawson, who set a 1:19.994. 7th was Hamilton, who set a 1:19.478. 6th was Norris with a 1:19.475. 5th was Piastri with a 1:19.380. 4th was Leclerc with a 1:19.327. 3rd was Hadjar in the Red Bull, 1:19.303. 2nd was Antonelli with a 1:18.811. And on pole is George Russell in the Mercedes, a 1:18.518. Front row lockout for Mercedes for the grid. Get up, make sure you get up at 4 a.m. for the Grand Prix, if UK time. I'll be up for it. Let me know if you will be in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.